You know, for the first 15 minutes of this game, you're gonna be like, what the fuck was that? What was that?
Hi, I'm Albert.
Hi, I'm Danny.
Hi, I'm Jazz.
Hi, I'm Toby.
Welcome to Gamerstate.
Hey yo, what is going on, you guys? Toby here from Gamerstate, and yes, I know it took us forever to finally get this review out, but we're getting it done anyways. Better late than never. Alright, so today, obviously, you guys know what we're doing. It's down here. We're reviewing Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And let me just start off by saying that this game, I mean, you guys have seen all the reviews, you know, 10 out of 10, a masterpiece. You know, I have not played every Metal Gear game there has been out there. The last Metal Gear game I ever played was Metal Gear Solid 4. But I did do my research. I learned a lot about it on their Metal Gear wiki page, as well as a lot of other pages just dedicated to this game. So, you know, I learned a lot more than I ever did just playing Part 4 and playing this game. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Let's get this whole thing started. All right. So, the characters themselves are freaking amazing. You get to play as Big Boss himself, the original Snake. If you guys did not know that, fantastic character. You know, I think every single character in this game is fantastic. The way they brought on the voice acting for all the characters were really good. There is one character that goes by the name of Quiet, and her name obviously means that she is pretty much very quiet, doesn't speak at all, pretty much for the majority of the game, except towards the end. Yeah, it is kind of a spoiler if you guys have not played this game, even though this game's been out for like about, I think, almost going on 3 weeks or so. But even then, with that character specifically, I have to say it's kind of like a hit or miss. Maybe some people might like her, might like her for that reason. But especially towards the end, which I'll get to, it's fantastic. Now let's get on to the story and the plot. Now, this game takes place about 9 years after the events of Ground Zero. So if you guys have not played Ground Zeroes, don't worry, because at least from what I know, I have the Day 1 edition. I picked it up just from the store. They were just selling it. Ground Zeroes already comes with this game, so you kind of get, I guess, 2 for the price of 1. So if you guys have not played Ground Zeroes, by all means play Ground Zeroes. It is kind of a quick game if you guys speed run through it, but you know, take your time. This game, from what I've seen on their storyline, says that this game takes place in 1979? 1979, yes. So the technology that takes place in this game is surprising and a little bit shocking, but I think you can look past it because it's still pretty awesome, and it kind of makes sense for their operation. They are heavily based on technology. Now, the story itself is a great story, and it's a long story, just like you expect from a Metal Gear game. Just trying to complete Chapter 1 took me about 36 hours. That's 36 hours. Now, I will say that I did play a lot of the side ops missions, which you still kind of have to play to get more of the story in some areas. But for 36 hours just to complete Chapter 1 is crazy. Now, I will get to Chapter 2. Well, just talk about it right now. Chapter 2, it's a little bit shorter. I think it may have took me about 15 hours. It's still a long way to go. Now, there's a problem that I have with Chapter 2, and that is that in Chapter 1, you did a lot of missions that I felt felt that belonged with the story. In Chapter 2, they now put in, I call them filler missions because that's all there are. They're just filler, that's all there is. And I feel like it's a little bit of laziness in the part of Konami and Kojima that they just put in a lot of filler. They came up with these missions called extreme missions, and by all means, yes, they are harder. But by this time, you should already have like level 5, level 4 weapons to compensate for that. And they still kind of feel like, you know what, I can still kind of pass it pretty easily. better than I did the first time around, especially since they are the exact same missions that you did in Chapter 1. So in that part, I did not enjoy having to replay those missions, even though you don't really have to do them. I think I only did about 2 of them just to continue on with the story, and then a lot of more of the side ops just to keep I guess the time going in the game. Now gameplay and graphics wise, this game is awesome, just like what you expect from obviously a Metal Gear game. It's a whole lot of fun. Now there is one thing that people might find a little bit off, I guess, especially since this is a Metal Gear game, that this game does not rely too heavily on you being stealthy at all. And what I mean by that is, in this game, I feel like you have more of a fighting chance than you did when you were when you played the other Metal Gear games. So even if you get caught, you can still, you know, go guns blazing if you wanted to, and still win. Or still clear a level. Let's talk about the weapons really quick. The weapons are abundance of weapons, and there are abundance of options once you unlock that ability to do that. To put on your weapons, slightly customize the color and some add-ons you can put on your weapons, which I find pretty amazing. As well as, you know, it's separated into several categories. So you got handguns, submachine guns, heavy machine guns, shotguns, rocket launchers, just so many weapons. It's just freaking awesome. Even though you might end up sticking with maybe the assault rifles and your sniper rifles. Let's talk about some of the cons. I did address one that I did feel like there was a lot of filler in Chapter 2. There's been this story going around the internet that everybody feels like this is an incomplete game. And I have to agree with those people that say that, because I will talk about the ending as well, but towards the ending of the game, you feel like it's not done, and it doesn't feel like it is. Especially since the way they end every single mission, it feels like, okay, yeah, that's the end right there, but it never feels like, you know what, this is the true ending. As well as there's been a somewhat extra mission called Mission 51 that's been in the collector's edition and not in the other editions of the game. There's being a 51 mission, but it's more of a huge cinematic reveal. I don't think you can play any part of it. It's pretty much an incomplete mission that you are able to see being played out, and was cut from the rest of the copies, which is understandable, but it also, and this is supposed to be Chapter 3 of this game, so it feels like to me that either we're gonna get some DLC, or that there might be a continuation of the Phantom Pain as a series. So obviously we don't know at this point, it's still pretty early, but you know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is an incomplete game? Because to me, it kind of feels like it is, but you know, everybody has their own opinion. Now, let's talk about the ending of the game in general. I feel like there was another piece just before the ending of the game that was a real tearjerker. At least to me it was. Maybe to you guys it might not be, but I felt it kind of tugged at the heartstrings a little bit for me. Just the way it played out. The score was amazing. Just everything about it was a little bit sad. Now, the way the game actually ends is a little bit on a different note, and it's a very big twist that I won't spoil for you guys, but I feel like that it makes sense, and it totally changes the Metal Gear universe. To me, this is either going to be a gateway to either there might be another Metal Gear in the future that I don't know if Konami will ever release the license and give it just strictly to Kojima to continue it, or if they try giving it a shot themselves. But we don't know if this is the final game, so we're leaving it. So they're kind of leaving the door open just slightly, if anything at all. So I'm gonna let you guys run with that. That's the way I personally feel like they're leaving the door a little bit open. Let's hope and see if there might be another Metal Gear later down on the road. And I think that this Metal Gear, either if it's not part of this Phantom Pain series, will probably be in the future. It's just a wild guess, it's a wild theory, so we'll leave it at that. Now, finally, let's talk about this game, and let's talk about what we rate this game as. Now, there is some small things wrong with it, but I feel like they're nothing too distracting, and there's nothing too big about them. If you guys like extreme missions, if you guys can handle the filler, then by all means, it's still going to be a good game. So ultimately, I'm going to have to give this game a 10 out of 10. The first ever we ever give a game a 10 out of 10 on this channel. So hopefully you guys pick this game up. It's a fun game. It's worth the price, just playing time alone. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, by all means, hit that like button, as well. If you thought this video completely fucking sucked, you know, there's a dislike button right there, and you can go ahead and press it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.